Hello, welcome back. In this video, we're going to learn about throws. Throws is a keyword in Java that basically lets you throw an exception from a function or method that you can catch where that method is called. We already saw an example of that. If we were to go to, for example, file reader, which we used, you can see when we used the constructor for file reader, we had to catch file not found exception. That's because this is throwing, that's the throws keyword I mentioned, throwing an exception. The reason you would throw an exception from a method is because if you want whoever is calling that method to handle the function exception instead of it being handled in the method itself, that's when you would throw it. One example is this file reader constructor could be used in thousands of places, right? Wherever you want to use it. And in all those places, you may want to handle the exception differently. So this constructor or any method, right, need not really think about what are the ways the exception can be handled. You can just throw the exception from the method and let the caller decide how to handle it. That's basically the concept. We're going to try to define similar thing in our example program to kind of understand that better. So if I go back to section 6, instead of using the program that we already have, I'm going to create another one. New Java class. This time we'll call it throws test with the main method, obviously. Hit finish. I'm going to create a method here. So public, um, we can keep it static. And then let's say file, open file. So file is the variable or the class that we used earlier. Oh, sorry, it should be file reader. File reader. So if you hit Control space, you'll get the import automatically. Now let's say this method wants to take in a file name, right? And then it will open file reader, fr equals new file reader of whatever the file name that's passed, right? So we want to create a utility method that will basically open the file instead of keeping this code everywhere, right? You're just putting it in a method that you can reuse. Now, this guy obviously throws an exception we need to handle. Now, this method can handle it, but if you have this open file method used in like hundreds of places, right, you may want to handle them differently in different places. So you can just say throws and then file not found. If you hit Control space, Eclipse will automatically do the import and add it here. Now let's see what it says. This method must return a type of file reader. All you need to do here is return fr. That's it. So anywhere you call this open file, you're going to have to handle this. Let's try it. So let's do a file reader fr equals open file of. We already have a file created from our earlier video, test.txt. If you don't have it, all you need to do is right click here and then do a new file. And then you can just create a, test.txt. I just have some text in there. So, well, let's just say text.txt. Save it. Semicolon, save it. So now it's going to say unhandled exception. And here you cannot really throw it. Let's say if you say throws, right? This is the main method. If you were to run it, run as Java application, nothing happened. Because the main is trying to throw it, there's nothing to catch it, right? It doesn't make sense to throw from main because this is where the program is executing. You may want to handle it and then display a message or something for the user. So you can say start on with try catch, and then you can just say sysout control space within quotes. You can say file not found, or you can say file test.txt not found. Now if you were to run it, oops, let's see what happened here. So we are catching, so we are opening the file reader, returning this. Oh, because the file exists, duh. So if I change it to test1.txt and then run it, you're going to get file test1.txt not found. That was terrible. Sorry about that. Because test.txt already, existed, so we never got the exception. But now, since test1.txt doesn't exist, we are calling the method with that test1.txt. We're trying to execute it. This obviously results in a file not found exception, which is thrown, but is caught here and handled. So that's basically the throws block. Throw statement. You would use it in a place where, in a method where you don't really need to handle the exception. You just want to throw it, so whoever the caller is can handle it. That's basically what throws is used for. And you can also add multiple things. So you can say throws IO exception too, right? Which you're going to handle. You're going to have to handle here. So you can add multiple throws because if you have multiple statements here and each of them throws a different type of exception, you can put them all here separated by commas. So a method can throw multiple exceptions too. So that's basically the throw statement. It will come in really handy when you have methods that are doing different things or resulting in different exceptions, but you want the caller to handle them. That's basically throws. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.